What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing my retro game collection of 2025. My collection hasn't changed a whole lot since the last video, but I do think it has changed enough to make another video about it. I know like most of my recent videos have just been about like game collections and stuff. I'll try to change that. I just haven't been uploading that much, so I usually just end up doing another collection video because my collection grows enough to make another video about it. So yeah, this is gonna be all the retro stuff I have so far, but I don't have like a Super NES or GameCube or anything sadly yet. So those are two things I need to get that are retro. Like obviously I eventually want to get like the PlayStation and the original Xbox too, but so far I do have a few retro consoles, and I do plan on growing my collection and making more videos on this channel because I know I haven't that much recently. But yeah, so first I'm gonna start with the NES. So I don't actually own an NES, but I do have 4 NES games from my grandparents when they had an NES because they used to back in the day. Sadly, I don't know what happened to it, but luckily I could find some games for it. So when I do get one, I have 4. But first I have Ghosts and Goblins by Capcom. I've definitely heard of this game quite a bit, and I think I've seen some like older gameplay of it, but I haven't actually played it. But I do think this is a pretty well-known game, and I am glad I have this one. Next up, another one I've heard of too. I think I've seen it on Nintendo Switch Online, but Rygar. I don't know much about it. Kind of looks like a fighting survival. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't know much about it. I've just seen it on Nintendo Switch Online, but yeah. Next, I got The Goonies 2. I've seen the movie, but I don't know anything about the games. Is there like even a second movie in real life? I don't know. I only know about the first one, but yeah, this would be exciting to play because I do really like the movie. Next, the last game we got is Track and Field 2. I don't have the first one. I don't really know much about this, but yeah, just another NES game and the price up here. Alright, for the stuff I do actually have now, I'm going to be moving on to the Game Boy. Okay, I have a little bit of a bigger collection for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, but not by much. But it is a pretty good collection so far. I do have some pretty popular games that I like. Obviously Tetris, like one of the best games ever. Better than Block Blast because that game is basically just a off-brand Tetris. Tetris is the OG. It's awesome. Never getting rid of it. I mean, I didn't get this with my Game Boy. I had to buy it. But when I did, I found one of the Game Boys I have, because I have 2 Game Boys. I found one in my grandparents' basement that they didn't use, and then I bought another one at a garage sale, the Game Boy Color. And it did come with one game, but yeah, I had to buy the rest of the games. Obviously, I mean, you can't really just find them at any stores or anything, so they weren't super easy to find, but I am glad I got this one. This is my favorite one on the Game Boy, and it's awesome. Next, I got Tennis. This is the game that came with the Game Boy. I like this game too. It's pretty simple, but pretty fun, and I put, I don't know, decent amount of hours in it, but it's just, you know, basic sports game. Next, we have Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. This game's really fun. I like it. It's like a Super Mario World style kind of, but on the Game Boy, and it has some unique power-ups like the rabbit, which is pretty broken because you can just infinitely float with it. But yeah, I love this game. I beat it, I think, 2 times, and I kind of want to go back and beat it a 3rd just because it's fun, and it's a pretty short game. But an even shorter game is Super Mario Land, which is very short, very simple, basic art style. Like, it almost looks even more basic than the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES, which I'm not hating on it because this was pretty good for the time. But it is a very short game, but it is still fun. It just has, the mechanics are kind of different on it compared to other Mario games. You're like more like heavyweight, if that makes sense. Like, just jumping is harder, you know, you're more likely to fall into a pit or something. But next I have Pokemon Special Pikachu Edition. I played a little bit of this game, not much yet, but I do love Pokemon games, especially the retro runs. I only have a couple retro Pokemon games, not like older ones, but like early DS games or stuff like that. But this is the only actually really old one I have, but it is pretty fun so far. Next, I got my only Game Boy Color game, which I know it doesn't have anything on it, but it's Donkey Kong Country. I don't know like if it's just Donkey Kong Country or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I know it's a Donkey Kong game, and I have played it a little bit. I think I've only played a couple levels though, so nowhere close to beating it, but I do like it. And I'm glad it was Donkey Kong out of all the games because it didn't have anything on it when I got it, and it did come with the Game Boy Color that I got. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so for the Nintendo 64, I have one of the best games ever, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I do have my own save file on this, but I have kind of mainly just like wandered around on my like uncle's old game save file because this used to be his, but it got passed down to me. I just haven't got into it that much, but it is still very fun, and I have played the 3DS version, which is also fun. I just have played the 3DS one more just because I'm more used to those mechanics, like versus playing on an older console, but I definitely recommend playing it on this if you're going to do it out of any of them, just because this is like the original experience. Next, GoldenEye 007, whatever. I haven't played it. Actually, I have played it once, I think, but I wasn't even at home when I did it. It was when I had this console at a different house, and I brought it over just to play it and stuff, and I remember it being like kind of fun, just nothing too crazy, nothing I was the biggest fan of, but I do know that is a pretty popular game, I think. Next, we got Mace, The Dark Age. I love this game. It's a really good fighting game. It's basically like Mortal Kombat, but with different characters and maps, but yeah, very fun game, especially playing with other people. Okay, before I move on to my PlayStation and Xbox games, I have Rob the Robot, which is fully working, I think. I know it works and moves at least. I don't have any batteries in it right now because I don't like to keep batteries in it when I'm not using it. Especially because when I found my original Game Boy, it had a lot of corrosion from the batteries in it that took me hours to try to like carefully remove all of it so it could read the batteries actually. But yeah, that took a while, so I don't want to have to go through that process again. But that would have had to been from like 20 plus years of just sitting there. So I know I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it is working. Online, you can find these like even not working ones for like over 100 probably. I don't have the box or anything, but I do have the like accessories. I have this one, I have this one, and they just connect to the sides of it like right here. You can see there's a little slot for it, and it fits all around it. And then I have, where's the other one? I thought I had another one. Oh yeah, right here. So it's pretty big. I have this one, it's a blue and red one. I don't really know what all of them do, because I don't have an NES or anything to mess with this thing with, or if it even takes a game. I don't know much about that. But yeah, this is Rob the Robot. Pretty cool that I have one, and I'm definitely never getting rid of this because this thing's pretty valuable. Okay, for the last Nintendo retro things I have is this Nintendo 64 Zelda songbook. It looks like it was ripped out of like a page of something. I don't know if it was like a booklet it came with, which I would imagine because I don't know, it's just pretty small, but it does have another side, some more music you can play from Ocarina of Time, which is pretty cool. And I already have my own Zelda songbook for my Ocarina, so I don't really need this one, but it is nice to have an actual classic one that came, maybe not with the game, I don't know if it did or not, but it was definitely meant more for the game. And then the last thing I have is this Nintendo Strategies How to Win at, and then it's all these games. It has Mario Bros, Mario Bros 2, Mario Bros 3, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Actually, it might not have Mario Bros 3. I just know it has the first two, at least. But yeah, it has all the good games, like the popular games you'd want to play, Castlevania, Contra, stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, this thing's pretty cool, and I'm glad I have it. I don't know if it's worth that much because it is just like a booklet, but it's very nice to have something retro like that. And that's all my retro Nintendo stuff, but I do have a few more retro games. Okay, for the PlayStation 2, I have MX ATV or Untamed. I haven't played this yet, but it looks interesting. Oops. Okay. Next, I have Medal of Honor European Assault. I think I played a little of this when I first got it, but I don't remember that much of it, so I can't say much. And we have Taurus Trophy. And I have a whole, like, not a whole big thing, but like just a thing to keep all the stuff in. It's kind of bulky. I have Vanishing Point. Vanishing Point right there. NFL Game Day 98. Then we have, already showed that one. Knockout Kings. Then we have Live 98. Oh, NBA Live 98. MLB The Show. Tekken. Army Men Air Attack. EA Sports Triple Play 2000. Then Medal of Honor Underground. And that's it. And then for the original Xbox, I have the official US Army game. So I do have a few more original Xbox games, and I do technically have an original Xbox. It's just not at this house because it's my grandparents' old one, but I'm like the only one that uses it because they don't play video games really. So hopefully eventually I can keep it, like have it passed down, you know. But yeah, so I only have a few Xbox games, a decent amount of PlayStation 2 games, not a lot, and then yeah. The rest of them are pretty small collections, but I am going to continue growing them. I think I want to focus on my Game Boy collection before I start on anything else, just because I already have that one started up and I have 2 Game Boys. But I would like to get an NES soon so I can play the games that I do have for it and get more. I would like to get the original Super Mario Bros. Because that's like my favorite video game series. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.